What's up, guys? It's your girl, Sarah from Sarah Styles here. Happy Monday. Happy November. It is the first day of November, and I'm doing a giveaway. So today's video, we are going to be looking at eBay stores. I'll be doing reviews. There is a link down below. I'm going to get to as many store reviews as I can. I've asked on my YouTube and my Instagram before this live video, so some people have submitted, but this is open to anybody. So go ahead and fill out the form below. Make sure to have your link populated so that I can get to your store. I'm going to hang out and do as many as I can. While we wait for people to kind of hop on, a couple of things that I want to do. I'm doing a giveaway today. I think I'm going to start doing some giveaways on my lives. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. But today I'm going to do a giveaway for a free dashboard. If you're new to my channel, I have dashboards, 3 dashboards in Google Sheets. You update your data and information, and then you have graphs and charts and analytics, things that I show you on my channel, and you guys can look at your numbers. So I will be giving away a free dashboard today. You have to guess, the first person to guess without going over how much candy. I sat down with my 4-year-old and we counted how many pieces of candy he got yesterday, a little bit from Saturday because we did a trick or treat street thing at the high school. But if you guys can guess, whoever guesses the closest without going over how many pieces of candy he has. Now, keep in mind, it's been almost a full day since we counted, and so he's eaten some of it. We counted this afternoon, but so drop your comments in the drop your comments in the chat. How many you guys think? Let's try and limit it to 1 vote a piece so that everyone has a chance. How many pieces of candy did my 4-year-old get yesterday trick-or-treating? Let me make a banner for this so people who are popping on no giveaway. Thank you guys for coming. How was everyone's Halloween? I'm in Colorado and it's a little chilly here. Winter is here. Not like full on winter, but like I had to get out my winter jacket yesterday. The kids had their snow pants and winter jacket on underneath their Halloween costumes. I guess. Okay, let me make this banner. On Halloween. All right, let's pop on and say hello to a few people. We will add this banner. Let's see if that works. There we go. All right, so I will leave that up for those who are. All right, what's up, Ginger Marvin? I always assume it's Kathy because it's Kathy's picture, but it could be Kathy or Chris joining. Definitely make sure to subscribe to Ginger Marvin. It's great content, almost daily wet soles and hauls. Lots of really good information on selling on various different platforms. Mary Camplin is here from Arvada. So you are feeling me, right? Like it's too cold. I know it's November now. But like I wasn't ready. I didn't want to wear my winter jacket yet. Hi, Sarah, reviewing my store. So Duncan sent me his chat or his link to review. As kind of a funny thing, Duncan actually has been one of the main reasons that I've gotten to the place that I've gotten. So I don't think I am one to review, but I'm glad that Duncan's here because he will definitely have a lot of really good insight into these store reviews. That being said, if you guys are in the chat, feel free to throw in your tips and tidbits as well. You know, this is a live. I'm going to give as much information as I can on the spot, but definitely this can be collaborative and we can all join as well. Upcycle Shed is here. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, so I'm glad I'm not just assuming it's you, Kathy. Chris is lame and rarely chats. I just see your picture, Kathy, so I always assume it's you. I love the chilly weather, just not walking around trick-or-treating in it. Agreed, agreed. All right, so it's going to be lots of information. So let's go ahead and get into it. We have our first person. I tried to get organized before the chat, but it's going to be a little chaotic at first just because I have to figure out how to share my screen and where to see everything. Where did that go? Here we go. Okay. So the first person up is going to be Idaho Girl Thrift. So a couple of things. I have an intake form, and like I said, this is open to everybody. So if you guys want me to go over your stuff as well, let me know. Or I think someone just asked, and I'm not really able to see the chat as I do this. How do I get a store review? I need help. There is a Google form document down below. Fill that out, and if I have time, I will get to you. I think I'm gonna maybe do this maybe once a month. I had a couple of people ask if I can do Poshmark as well. So maybe both of it, I will try and get to. So this is the first one. It's Idaho Girl Thrift. It's strictly eBay that I am doing. I'm going to do a couple things here because I'm going to look at their eBay store, but then I also did a little bit of a review or a little bit of a questionnaire asking, okay, what exactly are you wanting to get out of this? How many items are you currently selling? Y'all know me, I'm a numbers girl. So I'm going to help them kind of figure out their numbers as well and how they're going to hit their goal. Some of it's going to be things you can do to improve on eBay. Some of it's going to be some other tips and tricks to do as well. So Idaho Girl Thrift, let's go ahead and take a look at hers. What I like about this, and sorry I was a few minutes late, it's because eBay just they're added to their storefront. And so as I was logging on, kind of getting this set up, they gave me a pop-up and I was like, ooh, let's look and see what these new features are. So this is new. But I am going to tell you, I would highly recommend. I actually just went through and did a couple of mine. Featured items is not new, but you can add like popular, seasonal, lots of different ones. You can add this banner that's customizable. You put a picture. I don't know if I'll keep these or not. And there's like a newsletter and a whole bunch of other things. So that is new. I totally makes sense why no one has it on their storefront. I would highly recommend going in and looking. I'll probably do an eBay tutorial video on how to do it, but I would go in. The eBay is really making it so this can be your store. And yes, it's on eBay, but making it a little bit more personal. And that's something that I really like about her store. Idaho Girl Thrift, you can definitely see what it's about. A little bit about us tells her something I like here as well is 100% feedback. This is huge on eBay. You want to have feedback. You want to be as close, if not at 100%. Sometimes that means having stellar customer service. Sometimes that means taking a return that you don't necessarily want. That small hit is for the greater good. Something I am noticing here, and I mean, let me know what you guys think in the comments, but something I'm noticing here is only 26 followers. So I don't think maybe in years past it's been as big of a deal, but I think the sense that I'm getting from eBay now is they're giving us newsletters, they're giving us storefronts, they're giving us a way for us to be our own store. If you can gain more followers, that's more people that eBay is sending communications to. That's more people that your newsletter will get sent to. So I think really finding ways to increase your followers, the struggle you're going to have, and let me know in the comments if you guys have tips or tricks for this. You don't want to be overly spammy and be like, hey, follow me, follow me, follow me. But you can say, I mean, there's been times that I will send a message and say, hey, I saw that your feedback, make sure to follow me. I get a lot of these, the North Face jackets, so you can come back, and so don't just be like spammy, follow me, follow me. But definitely ways to kind of interact and get them to follow you. I think that is going to be more of a big deal, is that the right way to say it, is going to continue to matter on eBay. All right, so let's get into the actual listings. Let's go down. Like I said, this storefront about us. So she has this filled out. She's been a member since 2000 with a 100% feedback. Let's click on that and see. No, that's not where I wanted to go. Here we go. Sorry, it runs a little slow when that's also not where I wanted to go. Okay. So store categories, you can see here, and I really like this. It goes both ways. So the way that she has this set up is set up by categories that she set up. So you have to go in there and add those. You can also do it by eBay categories. And if you do it by eBay categories, the left filter, when you are actually on eBay and shopping, there's a left filter. There should be a left filter. Let's see. Let's say I want these. No. Jacket. Let me search for a jacket. Obviously, there's going to be a zillion jackets. Okay, so this left filter, this is when you are creating a listing, and this is item specifics. This is why you want to have as many item specifics as possible when you are creating a listing. Anything that's on this left filter, people can click on, and it's going to minimize how many listings they're seeing, and you want your listing to be on that list. So I know item specifics are annoying. Don't click them and don't fill them out if they don't make sense for you. But this is part of the reason why. And so the purpose I brought this up for is if you do your own eBay, if you do your own store categories, they're not going to come up on the left filter, but then you can add more. So it kind of depends on what you're selling. And if it's something that's very specific and eBay doesn't have for it, you have a lot, you may want to add your own store categories. For me, I keep it to eBay because I do clothing, and I want someone to come in and say, hey, I want a vest, and they have that option on eBay store categories, if that makes sense. I'm going to check in with the chat. So let's check in with the chat, see if we have any comments as well. It feels like winter here too. She needs more followers than 26. I have hundreds. So I agree. This is also for repeat buyers. eBay recently, I'm doing a video on some new charts that they have, but eBay did recently add repeat buyers and new buyers. If they're giving you this metrics, they think that it's important. So definitely that is another reason for repeat buyers, especially if you're in a niche, which most of us are. Women's clothing is really broad, but I'm getting a lot of repeat buyers that like, hey, you have a lot of activewear. I'll come back and go for that. I hope no more than 59 pieces of candy. So we have one. Make sure to let me know. You guys win a free dashboard for whoever is closest, but not over to how many pieces of candy my 4-year-old got this past week and weekend for Halloween. All right, so let's hop back in. So categories, I do like that she had a lot of categories because it definitely, you want to look at this from this shopper's experience. Can they come to your store and be able to find what they want? And that's definitely a great thing. Couple things I'm going to note. The pictures could be a little bit brighter. Like this one's bright. This one's good to see. This one has a lot of shadows. This background's kind of hard to see. This one, I know for a while this was kind of the rage. eBay, Poshmark, different platforms, it's not the biggest deal if it's not a white background, but Google's best practice, and eBay even says it as well, their best practice is to have a completely white background because they pull the image with a completely white background. Not only does it allow the buyer to know what they're buying, so here there's only one item, but sometimes you'll see people and they'll have like a whole setup, which kind of starts to be confusing. But the white background allows Google to pull it on to their platform. So when people are searching for, hey, I want a Buffalo David Byton women's size large short sleeve shirt on Google, this is going to come up. If you don't have a white background, Google has a harder time pulling it. We don't all have access to white backgrounds, which completely understandable. I do have in my Amazon link, I just have a paper roll off of Amazon. It was like $30 with a curtain rod because our background is like our walls are like beige and like textured. And so I just have that. So it's a really cheap way if you don't want to have a white wall to be able to do it. There's also apps out there like Photo Room is the most popular one that can make it a white background for you. So let's scroll down. It looks like she sells women clothing, shoes, and purses, something that I'm noticing. And she did fill out this information, and let's go ahead and over and look at it. Something that I'm noticing is these are all, lower price items, 20, 20, 18, 12. I mean, that one's 44. Nothing wrong with that if that's what you have access to. But if you're wanting to increase your sales, a lot of times I'll talk to people and, hey, I want to make more sales. What am I doing wrong? It's not always that, her SEOs are really good. Let's look at this one. Her SEOs are really good. We'll click on it. You do, I love a little offer as I'm sitting here. You start with the brand, and then if it's men's or women's, she has a size in there, she has a color in there, anything that makes it unique, tie front. So her SEO is really good. Pre-owned condition. We'll scroll down here as well. Shipping. So I was looking around. So I currently have it set at international shipping. If you don't have it set, if you don't have international shipping, you're losing out on buyers. So finding ways to make sure that you have international shipping is great. 30-day free returns. I would recommend I have eBay tutorials, so definitely follow those. I would recommend doing returns, especially if you're like, why am I not getting sales? Your competition is likely has returns, especially in clothing. I know women's clothing, shoes, and purses. We'll look at a couple other and I'll show you how to look. Look at your competition. If they have free returns, if they have free shipping, that's your competition and you're going to have to find ways to make that work. Okay, so we have 100% feedback here, 313. So that means, 313 feedback since 2000. My guess is she's not selling a large volume or maybe took a little bit of a break. Buyer pays for return shipping. So this is going to be hard. One thing you could do to increase, especially for clothes, it's going to make people a little bit more excited or willing to buy because it may not fit. If the seller pays for this shipping, then they may be more willing to do it. It's hard when you have these $12 items to put that into your model. However, it's on my eBay tutorial playlist. I've done a video on how to figure out if it works for you. And then eBay also has this really cool tool where you can go in and say, hey, here's my store, here's all my metrics, and they'll tell you kind of what you need to do to be able to do free shipping with the seller paid. That's one thing you can do to kind of increase your exposure. Let's look at the photos, all of the photos. They're just kind of dark. Like this one is really hard to see. This, and I didn't notice this until I looked close. That's some really cool texture. So having a picture of that makes it unique, maybe putting that in the SEO. They're all kind of just dark. So I don't use Photo Room. I have a white background, but you can use PicTapGo. It is a free app that you can use and it just brightens it. So I have a really large window by me, but like right now it's really dark out because it's kind of been rainy and stormy all day. And so you can go in and you can do it in bulk. I'm all about efficiencies. You can do it in bulk and it just makes it brighter. So if you don't want to do the photo room and do a completely white background, it at least could brighten those photos. Let's take a look. 372 pieces of candy. Oh my goodness, if only. We'll see. What return policies does she have? Yes, so I went over that. Thank you. Better to have, oh no, I don't think I did returns. We'll get to returns. Better to have clear white backgrounds for Google. Agreed. Is she not using make an offer? So yes, valid point, Duncan. If only you would come on live with me, Duncan, it would be a great chat. But very valid point. Having on best offer is definitely going to help as well, especially in women's clothing and shoes, purses. It's very similar to what I do, but most Kathy doesn't have it. So I don't want to say most. I know she doesn't do offers. I know that there's sellers that don't do offers. If you're trying to get more exposure, if you're trying to make more sales on eBay, using all the tools that they have until you get to the volume that you want, and then you can start taking some of those off and figuring out what works for you. I'm with Duncan on that. I think definitely adding best offer. Worst case, they send you an offer, you counter, and you don't sell it. But someone could be willing to pay $11 for this, and you would have no idea. All right, so 30-day returns. Oh, we did go over this. So 30-day returns, buyer pays for shipping. All of these things on here, eBay also gives you a boost. And if you can get to where you're a top rated seller, if you are top rated seller plus, so adding seller pays for shipping will get you to that top rated seller plus, you get a discount on your fees. So it's not only giving you more exposure. Yes, you have to pay for shipping when it comes back. My returns are about 5% of my sales. So it's not huge. Larger in women's clothing than most other categories. It's not huge, but the offset in my fees is offset by me having to pay for those, and my volume has increased for it. So that's something that you may consider. Sponsored items from this seller, something I'm going to note right here. If you guys don't do promoted listings, you're missing out. Not only because it's going to, when you're doing a search, it is going to put the items here. If you don't do promoted listings, these items are now sponsored, similar sponsored items, and it's sending them to someone else's store. Some sponsored items from this seller. So then you're going to at least keep them in your store. Maybe they want to buy this and they say, oh yeah, I like that one too. And now they're doing a bundle. All right, so let's go down. These are item specifics. It's a decent amount. I think you could probably do a little bit more. Some of them seem kind of irrelevant, like, why does it matter if I put it under work or whatever? But adding as many as you can, because that's how people shop on that left filter, as long as it's relevant. Don't put that this is a soccer jersey when it's obviously not. And then it goes down here. The thing I'm going to note too, so we're looking on a computer. eBay Open said this, as well as things that I've heard in the past. More and more people, I forget the percentages, but it's getting higher and higher of the people that search on their phones. So having description, I mean, it's important, but most people aren't scrolling down, aren't able to see the description on their phones. So I have it. The biggest thing that I use it for is, I pull it all here because I cross list to Poshmark and they like it. But I'll put something in here if, the size large is based on measurements, or if there's, it's pre-owned and there's a hole right here, or whatever it is. I mean, overall, I think the store is really good. And there's a couple things, yes, you can probably improve on, go look at the storefront and add to that as well. But I want to get into the numbers, because you said, hey, what am I doing wrong? How do I make this amount of money? And I'm going to show you in a minute. My issue with best offer is that eBay doesn't require immediate payment. However, I heard that this was changing. Has anyone else heard this? Yes. eBay Open, they did say that they are getting rid of, they are working hopefully by the end of the year, that if you do a best offer, you have to have immediate payment. That is a very valid point. However, I will say, they don't have a stat for this, but most of mine do pay. Yes, it's maybe a day or two, but they do end up paying. 68 pieces of candy. I'm trying to mentally keep track of who's the closest. Offers will be great once eBay fixes the issue, allowing buyers to not pay for 4 days. And so, I mean, I agree. I don't like that they don't pay for 4 days, but how many sales are you missing out on? You get 10 offers and 9 of those pay and 1 of them doesn't. You miss out on 9 of those sales from an offer for that one person who didn't pay. So I don't love it, but it's worth it. It will increase your sales. So now let's go ahead and go over, and this is a free Google form, a Google spreadsheet. This is free. It's linked down below, so you guys can do this as well. But I'm going to walk through, because she's telling me she filled out this little form. We went over the eBay. There's a couple things that you can do, but your SEOs look good. Maybe brighten your photos a little bit. You could add best offers, seller pays for returns, but nothing that's like going to super increase your store. It's a numbers game, guys. She told me, hey, I want to make $8,000. She's currently selling about, oh, I don't have the numbers with me. Hold on. This is where I was trying to get organized. Nope, that's not it either. Well, she has 1,300 active listings and a 7% sell-through rate. So that puts her at currently what she's selling. My phone. All right, about 90 items a month. And she says, hey, I want to make $8,000 a month. What am I doing wrong? How do I get there? It's a numbers game. You can increase some of those things. You can make your store a little bit better. But overall, I think, even doing every single thing that me and Duncan had mentioned, you're not going to get to $8,000. You're going to have to move one of these numbers. You're currently sitting probably around $3,000. Your average sale price, you told me, was $32. You have about 1,300 active listings. You want to get to $18,000, or you want to get to $8,000. Let's say, okay, you have to do more listings. You're going to have a 7% sell-through rate. You need to have 35 active listings. And something I'm going to say is Terra Peak has women's clothing around 5%. So your sell-through rate for your category is actually above eBay, which means that you are doing a pretty good job. Can it be better? Yes. I think everything can always be better, but it's not so much what you're doing wrong. It's this game of moving those numbers. So you can either increase your active listings. So you're going from 1,300 to, what did I say, 3,500. That's going to put you down here. That's going to put you over 8,000. That's increasing by 2,000 listings. That's going to take time to get to, for sure. So let's say that you go down to 2,000 You increase it a little bit, but then you work on increasing your average sale price. This may not be an option for you. Obviously, but I'm just kind of giving you some ideas of how you can move this number to make that end goal that you want to make. So let's say you increase this to $40. Now you're up to almost $6,000. $50 is going to be kind of hard in our um, category, but now you're up to 72. So my point is that sometimes you're not necessarily doing things wrong. A 7% sell-through rate when eBay has you at 5%, you're probably doing okay. You just need to either do more volume. If you're going to be in clothing, you need to do it's almost a volume game because it's such a low sell-through rate. If you say, hey, I don't have room for that, I'm not listing that many a day, I don't have time for a volume game, then you got to work on your average sale price. You have to work on increasing the inventory that you have's dollar amount, whether that's branching out and going into different categories or learning luxury a little bit better. That's really how you're going to be able to get to that next level. And then the one thing I will say, so sell-through rate, I'm at about a 15% sell-through rate. I'm on 2 platforms. So if you add multiple platforms, as long as you're selling on those platforms, that's going to increase your sell-through rate as well. All right, so let's check in and see. Typically, I recommend you thank a buyer when they purchase, give them an ETA, and ask them to follow your store. I pick up multiple repeat buyers this way. I actually don't do this because when I've had this done to me, it kind of annoys me. eBay sends me, when I purchase things, they send me information saying, hey, it's been shipped. Hey, it's on its way. You can go into your store and set that up. So they're getting notifications. Hey, it's shipped. Hey, it's going to be behind. Hey, you received it. Can you give a feedback? Anything over that as a buyer kind of annoys me. So I don't personally do that. I think it might depend a little bit on your niche. Duncan is really niched down, women's clothing, shoes, and purses. I'm not anything special, really. I think just giving a stellar experience. I do a coupon code with a QR code on the package that takes them to my eBay store. So hopefully they can just click it from there. So here we go. Oh, Erin, this is you. I know that name. How many does she list daily? So Duncan, this is my store. I currently list 12 items per day, which is, that's a good amount, but you're probably not selling 12 items a day, right? Because if you're 12 times 31 is 372. So if you're not, and I talk a lot about this on my channel, Duncan will know from Chris at A Daily Refinement, Reseller Nirvana. If you're listing 12 items a day and you're not selling 12 items a day, you need to take a deeper look. Listing more items. So if you're listing 12 items or you're selling 10 items a day, I mean, give or take seasonality. But if you're listing 10 items a day and you're not selling close to that reseller nirvana, there's something wrong. And it could be things that you have set up. Your store looks pretty good. So my guess is going to be, it might be things that people aren't really wanting. And that's where it kind of gets hard because you only have access to what you have access to. Go into Terapeak. I have how-to videos on Terapeak and figure out what is selling, what people want on eBay. Learn new categories because continuing to buy items that aren't selling, if you start listing 20 items a day, but they're not selling at the same rate, you're just going to have more inventory that's being taken up. Right. So here's Duncan. I list 20 and sell 20 a day. And I've gotten to reseller nirvana where you're listing the same that you're selling. Currently up to my listing, so it takes a couple months to get there, but I just did my video for October and I'm getting closer and closer to that reseller nirvana. I upped my listings about 2 months ago, so I should be close. And if I'm not, then I'm going to go in and see what's not selling, what is sitting. Is it my prices? That's something that I'd like to look at as well, your competitive prices. The other thing that you can look at, and let's look at this for her store because it's going to be valid. So I'm going to click on, or I'm going to copy and highlight this. You want to stay competitive. What is your competition doing? So I copy and pasted her title. I'm not going to do that much because that's a lot. T-shirt. So we'll just do like a regular t-shirt for that. I'm in Terapeak. If you have a store, you guys can access Terapeak as well, but look at your competition. What is your competition doing and how does it compare? So I looked at this. We're looking at the current active listing price is $17.90, and she's at $12. So she's lower. Her pricing seems to be good. Listing price is 0 to 90. That seems weird. You can't, for some reason, I can't condition the filter, but you could go in and do new. Average shipping is $6.10. I think her shipping cost is probably pretty reasonable. This is international. Let me turn off international. So we can see. All right. Okay, rates. Okay, so $4.99 economic shipping, economy shipping. So that seems to be good. 56%, so more than half have free shipping, $32. So her pricing seems okay, but that's just the one thing that I looked at. That's something else that you can do is compare yourself to your competition. What are they doing? Call It Favor is saying 112 pieces of candy. As it's hard to not give it away. There's a couple of people have guessed. There's a couple that have said. As Sarah says, it's your items are not selling at the listing rate, then some items are undesired. What are the oldest items that have not sold for in months? That's very valid. And I hate to be, I know Erin, we've chatted and I know she follows me. It's hard to hear that, but that's what I'm going to say is probably the biggest issue is you're getting items that people aren't wanting if you are not listing at the rate that they're selling. Do you go back and edit the older unsold items or end them and put them back using sell similar? So that's something that you can do too. If you have older items, I've read not to do sell similar because it takes, if you end it and then you sell similar, it takes a couple months for Google to start picking it up again. So then you could lose traffic that way. But you can go in and, hey, you've had this divided for, however long. Slash the prices, do an auction for 99 cents, get rid of it. You've probably learned something about your inventory from a year ago whenever you purchased it, and you can have something newer and refresher, get rid of the old, in with the new. All right, let's go on to the next person, and let me go ahead and have yes, this is another. See, Duncan, I just need you on the live. So if you guys do have questions or suggestions, definitely leave them as well. On another device, try and find your items not logged in as you in your own eBay ID. So I can do that as well. Make sure that you have good SEOs. Just looking at your store, your SEOs look pretty good. Another thing you can do if you don't have another device that you've never logged into your eBay ad, you can do an incognito. I have a Mac, and so on a Mac, it's a Shift Command N, and it'll bring up an incognito screen, and you can search, look and see if your items are coming up on search, and if they're not, figure out why. So as I was getting my eBay store up, I think Duncan probably told me this, as I was getting my eBay store up, I was going in and changing 10 items a day. I was searching for them incognito, looking for them, and if I was coming up number 15 on the search, I would look at my competition and say, hey, what am I doing wrong? And I would even drop the price 50 cents lower than those top ones in hopes to get it. The other thing you can do for volume, there's been quite a few times that I've ran like 50% off sales, and things go for a little bit cheaper than I wanted, but getting that volume, if eBay sees that you're consistently selling, they're going to start showing your stuff more often. We have 159 pieces of candy, 127 pieces of candy. So if you guys are just joining, I am giving away a free dashboard. If you guys can guess, the first person to guess without going over how much candy my 4-year-old got on Halloween. Yes, Duncan. The other thing too is a store coupon or a sale. I don't know, did you have a sale on your store that can help? Yes, so I don't think you had a sale on your store. And I know some people go back and forth on whether you should do sales, fake sales. But again, I'm going to take you over to how do people shop. And if you can go down here, there is a section that says sale somewhere, free returns. Right. So all of these things, you want to be on as many of these. Someone's going to say, I only want to accept offers. They click that and you're no longer in the search. International shipping. There is a place sold deals and savings. There's a place deals and savings. So having a sale, even if it's a fake sale, gives you one more exposure to have your items seen. All right, I think we have beat Erin to death. And a really good store. I think a couple things, and you can really get to where you want to go. Duncan's saying 2,000 pieces of candy. I doubt it. Send coupons should put a discount code at the top of your bin items. I'm having a lot of luck with coupons at the top of my store as well, to help things move as well. All right, let's go on to the next person. So let me get rid of that. Okay, so we are on, I'm not even gonna, yeah, I don't know what this is supposed to be. I don't know what it's supposed to be. It's so hard when all of the letters are bunched together. Something small, glam, I don't know. But here we go. So here's a couple things. We talked about it with Erin's store, that this, I would improve your storefront. If someone comes to your store, so if they're shopping on, search, they're just going to see the one item. But in theory, you want people coming to your store. You want people, especially, you have these first four things are all pretty niche, right? Like they're all similar-ish. So if someone can buy one thing and come and say, hey, if I buy two things, I'm going to bundle, you want your store to look as professional as possible. So a couple things to do that, like we talked, update your picture here. You do have an about us here, which is good. And then also your about as well. Positive feedbacks at 98. I mean, it's hard to say at 100. However, I don't think you're selling. Let me look. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say at 100, but like I said, if someone found this Nike shirt and they found yours and they found someone with 100% feedback, they're going to go with a person who has 100% feedback. And yes, maybe that person who gave you a negative feedback, really you did not deserve it, or you were just having a bad day, or there's always a reason. 98% means for the most part you're giving really good customer service. But sometimes as a business owner, taking one for the team, for your team to make more sales is worth it. If there's some that are just it's not doing good, giving stellar experience customer service, even when they don't always deserve it, is actually going to help your sales, not just from that one, but from future as well. I am going to say if you are top rated seller, top rated plus seller, eBay really does have your back. So try and have as many of those. Try and get to be a top rated seller plus. If you get a negative feedback and it's not warranted, I've had people who are like, if you don't do this for me, then I'm going to give you negative feedback. They give me negative feedback and I tell eBay and they take it off. So just keep that in mind as you're, selling, that if you are doing things that get you to top rated seller plus, it's going to help. Let's look at the categories. Okay, so I would add some categories here. If I'm coming here and I see you have 670 items and I only want t-shirts, I'm probably not going to scroll through 670 items to find a t-shirt. The other thing I'm going to note, similar to Idaho Girl, is the photos. I would work on brightening them a little bit. This one's really dark. There's free apps. Like I said, Pick Go is a free app. I have it on my phone and I just click all of them at one time and it brightens all of them. So it's a free app. And I would also work on a white background so that it gets pulled in Google. I don't know. Let's look at this. So I don't know a lot about, it looks like a lot of men's stuff. I don't know a lot about it, but I would like to see, you want to be competitive. So let's look and see. Let me find one. Let's do this one. So we're going to look at this and I'm going to look it up in Terapeak. So I'm just going to click on this Air Jordan. You want to stay competitive and you want to essentially be the best listing that there is. So if you come in here, you can Air Jordan size 3X. Oh, I need to know what it is. Warm-up jackets. Warm-up jacket. Nope, that's the wrong one. Oh, so yours came up. That's likely because I just clicked on it. So your computer is smart. It knows, hey, you just looked at this. I'm going to keep this in your queue. But so you probably have to be a bit more specific because it doesn't look like there's a lot. Some of these are actually really high priced. And this is where you'd have to know. My guess is that this one is not nearly as, I don't know, unique or something as this one because your pricing is really competitive. If these are selling on average for $80 and your price at $18, you should be moving that real quick. But that's just a way that you can look and see. You obviously would have to know a little bit better. Let's look at your pictures again. To me, I mean, it's kind of nitpicky, but you have to think this is clothing. There's a gazillion listings up there. Are you going to be the best listing out there? Let's look. Jacket, Air Force, or jacket. If someone's searching for you and this photo comes up, this photo comes up, this has best offers, free shipping by, if these certain photos come up, obviously this is different than yours, but this is your competition and you need to be competitive with it. So again, you don't have best offers on. I would add best offers. You don't have to accept them. It just gives you one more place on that filter when someone's looking at it to get it. And someone may say, I would really want this jacket. I only have $17 in my bank account and offer you $17. And you would never know that unless you had best offer on. Ships from the United States, calculated shipping. I don't know. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. I'm not a big fan of calculated shipping personally. I've seen some calculated shipping go really crazy with it. And I think when we looked up this, the majority of people had, oh no, I got out of it. Here's Terra Peak. Average shipping was $8. I'd probably just put it at $8, or maybe like $7.99, so you're cheaper than everybody else. 14-day returns, that's going to be a turnoff. Most people do top rated seller plus. Your competition is doing 30-day returns with the seller paying for the return shipping. I know we don't love it, but that's going to give you more ticks on the side. It's also going to make you a top-rated seller plus, where you're going to get a little bit more exposure as well as more protection. And eventually, if you're a top-rated seller plus, you'll get things on your fees. All right, so let's take a look and see. Oh, here we go. Yes, great. I love it. So everybody go to Erin's store and follow her. Everyone go to who store are we looking at now? Yeah, go to this store and follow them. Great point. I love it. I love it. Where is your store banner? So agreed. Yes, so too much white background area. Here we go. Oh, he's being very specific. Talbot's women's flawless high-rise straight leg jeans. I will say that SEO is very good. You start with the title. You said it's women's. You talk about, high-rise is something people are looking for, what kind of leg it is, what size it is. But he's saying to get rid of the area around the jeans. It's showing it as a very small picture. And that's valid. Remember, people are shopping on their phones. If it's showing small on the computer, it's itty bitty. And I hate to sound so nitpicky, but when you're in such high competition niches, they'll just keep scrolling. They don't know you. They don't care. They will just keep scrolling. I say some return sellers do not accept returns. Others have 14-day returns. I use calculate shipping unless I know it's going to be platted flat rate. So maybe, oh, you're right. Okay. Thank you. Vic did tell me I see best offer. There is a place to do best offer. You're right. You're right. So I apologize for that. I rarely use calculated unless it's an item is super heavy, then I will box it and weigh it prior to the listing. So Talbot's women flawless high, blah, blah, blah. Fourth picture is the wrong item. Ooh, look at Duncan. I'm telling you, Duncan needs to come back on the show. Where is this Talbot's that he's talking about? Oh, I don't see it. All right, so let's look at this item in detail. So this one doesn't have best offer. So some of them do, some of them don't. You may want to add them to all. Free expedited shipping. So this has free shipping. That's good. It's one extra mark on the side. Returns, blah, 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 blah. Let's scroll down and see item specifics. Looks good. There's probably more, but do you see how big that item specific is compared to the last one that we looked at? It's not fun, but someone might be shopping and click on that spring and his is going to come up when someone else's is not going to. Some item specifics here. Let's look at shipping and payments. So it does look like he does international. Get rates. Let's see. Yeah, so he does international. I picked a weird one. Let's do United Kingdom. International priority shipping, and it's estimated. So he does do that return policy. seller does not offer return. So this one is not offered. So it doesn't seem like your store has the same policy on it. I mean, which it is what it is, but I would just be mindful that your competition likely is going to have those things on it. So I do want to look at, you have 98% feedback. We'll go here and click on it. I mean, some of like these ones are good. It looks like maybe you're starting to do. But this one again is really small. Crop that. Like I'm having a hard time really seeing what that is on the computer. If I was on a phone, I'd have no idea what that is. So you had 2 negative feedback, 1 neutral. Neutral doesn't really hurt. The thing, I saw this on Chris's. I'm not sure how true it is, but I've kind of looked at it. So you can see you're getting the most 5-star for shipping time. So you're a fast shipper. The worst is item as described. So you may want to work on putting more detail, taking better pictures. If there's a flaw, put a flaw. If, the color is red with a hint of purple, put that in. If people cannot see these items, you have to details and photos of what they're actually seeing. Let's see what the negatives for. So this is what your buyers are going to be looking at this and say, hey, I need to return this. It says women's medium and it's clearly kids vest. I have no children. I wanted it for myself. That would make me cautious. If this was not true, then you reach out to eBay and say, hey, this is not true. I don't know what they're talking about. They got the delivery. This is what the item was, and work on it with them. Seller canceled and relisted for a higher price, completely dishonest and bad business all around. This behavior shouldn't be allowed on eBay. So those are things, I mean, it's 2 feedbacks in 6 months, so not terrible, but those are things that you do need to be mindful of. And that brings up a point: do not cancel on eBay. Don't do it. I've had things. I had a shirt that sold this. They both randomly sold at night on eBay and Poshmark. One sold on Poshmark. It sold on Poshmark for $65. It sold on eBay for $30. I had to cancel a Poshmark because you do not want to cancel items. You will not only get a ding, but it's possible that your buyer is going to leave a negative feedback, and that's going to impact your sales in the future as well. I like my pricing to end at 99 cents. That's kind of a marketing strategy. Some people do as well. Leslie's here. What's up, Leslie? Hi. I just joined. I like your hairstyle today. I'm late, but I'll restart it when it's done. Okay, so Duncan, yeah, let's get to the numbers. What's the sell-through rate for 670 listings? So we are on sell-through rate is 6% at 662 listings. Average sale price is $21. This is information that they gave me. Sell-through rate, I mean, 6% is still higher. eBay has clothing around 5%, so that's slightly higher. You can always get it better. But I would definitely work on some of the things that Duncan mentioned that I mentioned. If you want to get to that, so you're saying you want to get between 4 and 7K. Clothing is a volume game. 350 active listings, you're at $4,000. That's a lot coming from where you are. And do you even have the space for that? Do you have the time for that? Possibly not. So something that you could be doing is working on maybe getting $30 average sale price and some of the things, adding some returns onto it, maybe adding a second platform and get you up to a 10% sell-through rate. And now you're at $2,000. If you go up to 1,200 active listings, you're almost at that $4,000 mark. This is something too I'm going to point out in the dashboard. Since you guys are on my channel, if you have the dashboard, I'm doing a giveaway for it. So let me know how many pieces of candy you think that my son got this weekend. If you have the dashboard, you enter in your goal here. It looks at your data. It looks at your sell-through rate. It looks at your average sale price. It looks at your active listings, and it'll tell you exactly what you need to do to get to where you want to go. This is how many items you need to sell. This is your average sale price needs to be, and this is how many active listings. And then this moves as you continue to increase your average sale price. It'll continue to update with that. It also, as we were talking about with Duncan, also shows you essentially a reseller nirvana chart. If you are not listing, this is something I look at. If you guys watch my videos, I look at it all the time, because if I am not listing what I am selling in or around, something is wrong, and I need to take a look at my inventory. I need to take a look at my selling strategies, all of that. We are almost at 6 o'clock, and I've only done 2. Let me know if you guys are finding this useful. I was thinking of doing it maybe once a week. I think maybe we'll get to 1 more. A lot of what we said the first time, we spent a lot of time on errands, but a lot of that is still valid when we start looking at other people. Why is he offering expedited shipping on a t-shirt? Isn't that priority? I mean, it just means that it gets there faster. You could offer multiple different options. But I think it seems like this item has one standard, and then this item, it has free turns, and this one doesn't. And so I would maybe look at your policies and kind of figure out what's working, try something on everything and see how it works. I'd be improving the pictures and again looking at what is not selling and why. I'm guessing 189 lists, 189 pieces. So those just joining, we have about 10 minutes. I think I'll probably have time for one more. This is, anyone can do it. I usually post the link before on my Instagram or on my YouTube post. So make sure to hit the bell on YouTube if you're subscribed so you can see those, and then follow me on Instagram as well. I think I'm going to do this once a month. Let me know if you guys find it helpful or not. I like helping other people. And I think probably a lot of stuff is helpful. I'm going to try and get Duncan to come on with me because he's been very helpful. This is very useful. Even just hearing about other people's stores has helped. Okay, good. I'm glad. I think you can get a lot out of looking at other people's stores as well. We went really in depth into errands and then didn't have to touch on as many of those things for the next one. Okay, so the next one, I need water when I'm the only one talking. I need some water. All right, so this one is interesting because this is not stuff that I sell. So I don't know about the niche, but I can still help you. We can still look at the numbers. We can still, Duncan's here. And there's just general things on eBay, regardless of what you're selling, that's going to help. 16 followers. I would work on that. If I came to your store, it seems like you have some pretty cool items. The pricing, oh, hello, $1,800. It seems like you have some really cool items. I don't know if they're priced competitively and if they're what people want. We'll kind of talk about that in a minute. But if I was coming to your store, like, I want to know who you are. And I think eBay's really pushing that. They're giving a storefront. Like I said, there's a new, I'll do a tutorial soon, but there's a new eBay store features than there even was before. You can do a banner. You can do public coupons. But up here, just filling out your about here, putting a picture. It doesn't have to be a picture of you. Mine is a picture of my logo. Something is the 16 followers, trying to get that to increase. You might have a niche here. I mean, I could be wrong, but if I'm collecting rookie, I don't know, starting lineup, if I collect these things and you get a lot of them, I'm going to be able to come back and buy from you more. That is one of the easiest ways to continue to get sales without really trying. If you can find people that are, especially in collectibles, Duncan can probably speak to this, especially in collectibles, if you're finding collectibles that people like and they just automatically come back to you, definitely where it's at. Let's look at shop categories. So I would also work on shop categories. You have 385 items. I don't want to scroll through 385 items. I also, when I am searching on eBay, let's talk about it again. Come over here. When I'm searching on eBay, I am going to come over here and click, well, this is jackets, but I'm going to come over here and click, hey, I want baseball cards. If you aren't clicked there in the eBay store, it's not coming up when people are searching for it. Most people are finding your stuff via search, via Google, via eBay. So some of these, and let me know what you think, Duncan. White background is the best per eBay and Google. I know a lot of people who don't do as much of a white background when they're selling stuff like this. I don't know if maybe it doesn't matter as much, but you want it to get pulled. So this has a white background. This has a white background. I have no idea what this is. Hopefully whoever's buying it does, but it looks kind of dark. So I would maybe even I like all the detailed photos. If I'm buying this, I am like, oh, hopefully I know what that is. But if I'm buying this, I like the detailed photos. I would maybe brighten them a little bit. It seems like your SEOs are pretty good. I like new. This item is vintage and previously owned. Therefore, normal signs of wear to be anticipated. Let me know what you guys, how you guys do this in the chat. I think I was talking with Kathy maybe from Ginger Marvin about this. I don't like to put like new, excellent use condition. I don't personally put any of that in because I think everyone's perception on that is very different. Someone might get a like new and not realize that like new when it's vintage is going to be old, right? Like it's old. So I don't personally like doing that. Let me know what you guys are thinking. This does not have a best offer on it. It has a buy it now. Maybe that's something that you could be adding to it. It does look like there is an international shipping program. Depending on, so something that I learned like 2 weeks ago, and I say it in my video on Wednesday, is global shipping program, it tends to be a lot more expensive than the eBay standard international shipping. If you're selling things under $50, it's going to give protection. If you're selling things that are more expensive, over $50, global shipping program has more insurance. But you may look at that. People, I mean, the shipping here is basically the same price as the item. That may be deteriorating people from it. No returns. I don't know, and we don't have time to really look into this. We have 5 minutes left, so I don't know if that's typical for this type of stuff. But I know that in general, eBay recommends doing returns. It's also going to get you top rated seller, possibly top rated seller plus status, saving you on fees and also giving you more exposure. Okay, let's scroll down. Let me check in with the chat and see if there's anything that I'm missing. Yes, very helpful, very helpful. Okay. I wish Poshmark new analytics would show net after their part rather than just gross, and it won't let me review the past month. Yes, Vic. So my video, I filmed it last Saturday or something. I don't know. My video on Friday is about the Poshmark analytics. And while I'm super excited that we can actually see things now, I'm not using them in my business decisions. And my video on Friday is going to tell you guys why. But I agree with you. It's kind of crappy that it's November 1st and I can't look at October anymore. You can if you click look at the previous month, but I can't look at September. Very helpful, very helpful. I'm scared if you pull up my store. I am trying not to be too critical, but if you want me to review it, like I'm going to give you things that are going to be helpful. How do you get followers to increase? If you're on social media, you can do that. If you are, I say everyone who is doing a store review, go follow them. If you guys are on here now, look at these people on eBay and give them a follow. And then just, we talked about it at the beginning of the chat as well. So maybe you're coming in at the end, but sorry, I was reading a comment on the chat. It's hard to do both. Increase your store followers. So just giving really good customer service. I do a coupon code on my eBay store, on my package, and it takes them right to the eBay. People are lazy. I am too. But people are not going to come search you out. They're going to say, hey, that was fine. Unless it's like ridiculously good service, they're probably never going to come look for you again. If they click on it and the link is right there on their phone, then they can follow me. Sometimes I will say too, hey, you know, I find a lot of the North Face jackets. So definitely give me a follow. I'm constantly adding new stuff. I don't like to do it too much. I know Duncan does a little bit more than that. A couple things. Duncan saying seller does not accept returns. I noted that as well. That's hindering you. Not only is there a filter, but buyers, if they can find this, unless this is the only one, if you are so unique that you have the only one, and people are going to be okay not accepting the return, you're hindering yourself by not accepting returns. You're also not getting as much protection from eBay. eBay wants you to accept returns and they give you added protection for doing so. No best offers as well, no store coupon discount. These are all things in general. We can't get into everything here. Same goes for Poshmark, Instagram, YouTube. Honestly, all of these things, it's kind of the same. If they're giving you a tool, they think it's useful. Whether you find it value in it or not, they're going to give you exposure. They're going to say, you know, a thank you for saying, hey, we gave you this tool. Thank you for using it. We're going to give you exposure. We're going to put it on the filter. We're going to help people see your item. You're a good seller. We're going to give you more exposure. You're doing the things that we want you to do because eBay wants to provide this service for sellers, and they want each person to kind of be a cumulative. Sorry, I've been talking for an hour straight. A cumulative service, right? Like people go to eBay, and I think it's slowly going to start changing where we have storefronts and stuff now, but people go to eBay and they know that they're going to get good service. They know that they can return items. So they are going to give you an added bonus if you do that. The other thing is, well, run a store sale. Are they using promoted listings? So let's look down and see similar sponsored items. Yeah, so here's the thing. They're not using promoted listings as well. Yeah, Yes. So sorry, my throat. So if you use promoted listings, not only does it get you kind of to the top of the search, and you only, for promoted listings, you only pay for promoted listings if it sells via that way. So that's something to note as well. But I can tell that they're not using promoted listings because neither one of these are from the same seller. So if they were using promoted listings, it would say similar to, I think maybe Aaron's had it on, a similar sponsored item by this seller. And so you can scroll down here and it would keep them on your store. Oh, okay, maybe I don't want this, but oh, this is similar. Let me go and stay on their store. You want to keep them on your store. And then the description is, well, I feel like this could probably have more item specifics as well. I don't know this as well, but you want to have as many item specifics as possible. So when someone is searching, they find exactly what they want. Shipping and payments, we did already look and see that they do have international shipping, no return payments. So then I'm going to say really quickly, we'll look at the Gordon formula for resellers. This Google sheet is going to be down below. It's like $3 on my website, but there's a coupon code if you guys want it as well. So we're going to go to, who are we on? Blondie's? Are we on Blondie's store? I think so, right? Yes, Blondie store. Okay, so Blondie store, they gave me a little bit of background information. Sell-through rate is 9%. Average sale price is $75, which, I mean, hello, they had like that $1,800 item. So they're definitely working in a category that sells at a higher average sale price. It means that they can have a lower active listings because they're making more money per sale. They're currently at 387 items. They want to get to $8,000. So a couple things you can do, obviously increase your average sale price. You can increase your sell-through rate. So I think if you go through and add some of the things that Duncan and I were talking about, let's say you increase this to 15%, you're now at $4,000. You double this, or let's say we take this to 1,000. You're now at, whoa, we don't even need to go to 1,000. Let's do 850. You're now at $9,000. So you don't even, let's double it. Let's just do 700. 700, enter, you're at almost $8,000, right? So if you can just get things to sell through on eBay, adding a couple of those things will do it. And then increase your active listings, or you can go ahead and increase your average sale price. If you're able to find those things, increasing your average sale price will do that for you as well. Oh, and now for the winner. So let's find the winner. Let me go ahead and look. You need 30-day returns as well. These are all standard eBay practices. And while I know as a seller, we don't always like to do it, this is what other sellers are doing. If you're not doing it, guys, I'm sounding like I'm really harsh and I don't really mean to be. But if you're not doing it, someone else is, and the buyer doesn't care. The buyer doesn't care about you. The buyer doesn't care about Blondie. They're just going to buy where they can have the best deal, where they know that they're going to have stellar service and they're going to get a great service and be able to return it if they don't like it. Yeah, I had someone cancel an order because I did not accept returns. I won't buy from someone who doesn't accept returns. It makes me think like, what's wrong with this that you won't accept returns? And honestly, buyers know that they can kind of get around it. They can push the buttons on eBay if they really wanted to return it. All right, so let's go ahead and do a giveaway. The answer was 110. So keep in mind, he has been eating candy for a day. So it was likely a little bit more than that in the beginning. I think the closest, you guys all guessed a lot of really high numbers. Keep in mind, he's 4. It was a school night and it was cold. So we probably did, I don't know, 4 or 5 blocks. We were not the marathon trick-or-treaters like last year when it was on a Saturday. I think 68, you guys help me out. I think 68 is the closest without going over. Is that true? 372 is too high. 59, oh, I hope no more than 59. 68, I think this is the closest without going over. 112. This one, oh, call it favor. This was so hard because he had it 111. You were 1 over. It was so hard not to say something to you when you said that, like, just go 1 lower. 159 was too high. Let me put, I think it's 68. Do you guys agree? Let me look. 127, too high. 2000. Yeah, right, Duncan. 189, that's too high. Blah, 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 blah. Yep. So Julie Lynch, you are the winner. Congratulations. Send me a DM on Instagram, Sarah Styles LLC, and I will give you a code to pick out. I have three dashboards I have courses as well, but I'll give you a dashboard. So thank you guys, everyone, for joining. Wednesday's video is, did I hit $10,000 a month reselling on Poshmark and eBay? My October numbers are in. Spoiler alert, guys, like it was a great month. So definitely check that out. Friday is going to be Poshmark has analytics. Now, I'm a little iffy about them. So the video on Friday is going to be about that. And then next week I have a live. I don't know what's happening next week. So thank you guys so much. You are not too harsh. I appreciate you saying that. I do think I'm going to do this maybe once a month, maybe twice a month, eBay and Poshmark. So definitely thank you guys so much for joining. I appreciate everyone who filled out the form. I'm sorry that we only got to 3 of them, but I will continue to do these, and hopefully you got some tips and tricks out of it, even though I didn't get to your store. Have a great night.